Welcome to Make Something. I'm David Petruto. Today I hope to give you 10 ideas you can quickly make as Christmas gifts. This video is sponsored by Simply Safe. They're currently offering a holiday deal of 40% off or more, and we'll talk more about that later. The 10 projects I am about to show you are condensed. There are full-length versions of all of these videos. I'll have a playlist to everything down below. Many of these projects have plans and some of them are in the books. The idea here is to show you projects that you can batch out all within a day because we are quickly approaching the Christmas deadline. So without further ado, let's get started with cutting boards. First of all, let me get this out of the way. Every kitchen needs a cutting board, and the great thing about cutting boards is they can be insanely simple, just a board that you cut on, to something that I'm building here in this video, which is an end grain cutting board, which involves me gluing up a bunch of pieces and then recutting and then flipping those pieces up so the end grain is showing up top. And then I'm cutting out the final shape. I think I have 4 videos on making cutting boards, and then I also have this Make Your Own Cutting Boards book that I've written. There's 15 cutting board projects in here. If you want the book before Christmas, check your local bookstore or your local Woodcraft. Cutting boards are the classic Christmas gift from woodworkers. This one is ridiculously thick. It doesn't need to be this thick. I thought I would just get a little bit crazy when making one for myself. And we actually use this one, so it's got some battle scars on there. Next up is the tissue box. I think I made these 2 years ago for my family. Everybody in my family gets the same gift, and this is one of those projects you can make a ton of in a single day. It's almost winter. Everybody has tissues. Why not fancy it up with a tissue box? The tissue box just slides in there, nice friction fits, and then this little wood piece goes over top. Fancy. And there are plans available on my website. Next up are bandsaw boxes. This is a project that got me on the map here on YouTube. In this video, I am batching out a bunch at one time. Nothing says I love you like giving your relatives a gift that they don't know what to do with. But anyway, they're fun, they're beautiful. I've got an entire book on making 8 different bandsaw box projects. And then I also have some templates and patterns on my website for a few more. I will warn you that you can batch these out, but there is a lot of sanding when making bandsaw boxes. So it's a lot easier if you have a disc sander and a spindle sander and a random orbit sander, because all those curves are hard to sand. It takes up a lot of time. There are 8 projects here in the book, and then there are even more templates on my website. I'm not sure if any of you are old enough to remember the Drunken Woodworker, but that was a cool dude. Up next, we have pens and pencils. In this video you see here, I am making a pencil box, and it uses finger joints. It's a really super fun, quick and easy project. Now to fill that, you need to fill it with pens or pencils. If you have a lathe, you can buy pen and mechanical pencil sets, or you can make solid wood pencils. It takes a little bit more work. A few years ago, I did this by cutting up small pieces and then routing a groove and filling that groove with lead. And then my buddy Andrew Klein invented a jig to make these 6-sided hexagon pencils using a hand plane. It's a really cool and clever jig. I'll link all of these videos in the playlist so you can see the full versions of everything. Up next is this wine display holder. This makes a great gift, and this is by far the most popular item on my website. Again, this is a project you can batch out and make a ton of. It is super simple. Basically, you're just gonna glue up some boards, and you don't even have to glue up boards. I just do this to add a little bit of decoration. You then apply the template, you drill out the holes, you cut out the outside pattern, you do a little bit of filing, you round over things, add some finish, and you are all done. A very quick and easy project, and just kind of a classy little gift. Now in the video, I am finishing these with oil. If you are batching things out, I would probably choose a spray lacquer because it dries so fast, and oil takes like a whole day to dry between coats. So spray lacquer is still protective and just makes life a lot easier. Although a polyurethane oil looks better in my opinion, just spray lacquer is quicker and easier if you're batching things out. And while we are on the subject of wine, here are some wine boxes. Wine just makes a great Christmas gift. Nobody really knows what's a good or bad wine. I mean, I think most people are like us and just buy wine by the way the label looks. So get something fancy, make this finger jointed box, and give it as a gift, and they will remember it forever. In this video, I'm using pine. If you find the right pine, you can get some really beautiful boards. And then I am taking a plane and making shavings to use as packing, and it just adds that touch of class to it. So another great, thoughtful Christmas gift. This is one I really like a lot. These are lamps, and it doesn't take hardly any wood, so one board could yield a few lamps. And then for the middle here, I'm using stained glass, but you could also just cut acrylic on your bandsaw. I've even taken regular glass and then glued on a piece of veneer and have the light shine through there. So you can get really, really creative with this project. Again, I've got plans for this on my website. This one right here we have in our hallway and works as a great nightlight if you get the right bulb. This one is really hard to show on camera. If I turn the light off, you can see there are different colors of glass, but when I turn it on, it kind of blows it out. But in person, this looks beautiful. It's got that like 70s gradient with the red, orange, yellow, and cream color. So this is a really cool, fun project. And like I mentioned, it really doesn't take a lot of material. You guys like my Christmas bush? It's one of those fake trees without the top in there. I got a little lazy and just didn't want to bring in the top. Before we get to the rest of the projects, I'd like to tell you about today's sponsor, and that is Simply Safe. If you have ever wanted to make your home feel safer, there is no better time than right now. You can save 40% or more on your Simply Safe security system during their holiday sale. You get to decide and design the system that works best. No appointments or strangers coming into your home. It's easy to set up yourself. I've done it twice. They've got sensors to cover every window, room, and door, plus lots of great extras like water sensors, smoke detectors, and HD cameras. And we've recently added a couple of their outdoor security cameras so we can monitor while we are away and see who's approaching our house. Bonus, it's a great way to let you know when the mail has arrived, or more importantly, the pizza. The app is super simple to use. I can check all my cameras and arm the system home or away. From there, your home is professionally monitored 24/7, and if anything happens, Simply Safe's always on team will call the authorities immediately. Save 40% or more on your Simply Safe security system during their holiday sale. Visit simplysafe.com/makesomething to learn more. Anyway, up next, beer totes. These were a huge seller at craft shows, and they also make great gifts. Here in this video, I'm using 1/2-inch walnut plywood. You might not be able to find walnut plywood where you are, so you can just use regular plywood and veneer it. You can also make this out of solid wood. You can make this out of whatever you want. We all have that beer lover in our family, and a lot of liquor stores and grocery stores now let you pick and choose and create your own 6-pack. So it makes a really cool gift if you pick out 6 bottles of craft beer and throw it in this fun little beer tote. Up next are picture frames. In this video, I am making an oval frame. I think I have like 5 different picture frame videos on my channel, plus a video dedicated to a sled to get perfect miters, and then another video on a spline jig so you can reinforce those miters, and then another video on the glue up jig. I've done tons of picture frame videos. Picture frames is how I got started in woodworking. I used to be a hobby photographer. I guess I still am, but I was getting ready for an art show, and I took my prints in to go get them framed, and they wanted like $120 a print, and that just kind of blew my mind. And I thought, hey, I took wood shop in high school, let me go get a miter saw. And I realized there was a little bit more to it than that, but that started my journey into woodworking. Even if you don't make picture frames as a gift this year for Christmas, take your phone with you and then gather everybody up at your family, get together and snap a photo, and then next year frame that photo and then give it out to everybody in your family. It's a very thoughtful thing, and it's a family photo, so they can't refuse it. They have to love it. They have no choice. So I think every woodworker has to make a picture frame sometime in their career. Cutting boards and picture frames, that's what every woodworker makes. I think it's like 50% of my projects. And firewood. I make a lot of firewood, but you don't always see that on camera. And then finally, we have this utensil holder. Again, this is another project from one of my books, Make Your Own Kitchen Tools. This is one of those projects you can, I've said this 10 times now, but it is a project that you can batch out and make a whole bunch at one time. We all have those drawers in our kitchen where the spatulas and spoons and ladles are all clogging up the drawer and you can never get it open.
Spatula City! Spatula City! A giant warehouse of spatulas.
This particular project has 8 sides. It looks great on your counter. And then anything you don't prep food on, you don't have to use a food safe finish, so you could use a polyurethane, which technically is food safe once fully cured after like 30 days. That is it. I actually have a lot more projects that I'll put in the playlist. I just wanted to keep this video nice and compact. Like I mentioned before, a few of them have individual plans and a few of them are in my books. Some of them you can make without any plans at all. You can just make them by looking at them. If you want to get the book before Christmas, I suggest checking your local bookstore or your local woodcraft. Every single person in my family gets the same gift. It takes the stress away from Christmas. I don't like shopping. It doesn't feel very authentic to me just to order something off of Amazon and then wrap it and give it to somebody. I like the idea of giving something handmade. When you make something by hand for your family, it is made with love, and then there's a memory involved with that. So it just makes a great, thoughtful gift. The next video is going to be that picture frame. This picture frame is a little bit different. It is for a very special print that I got, and I can't wait to show you. So look forward to that. If you are not subscribed and you think I earn it, please do so and hit that notification bell. I try to put out videos every single week. I also have a weekly audio podcast that we've been doing for like 5 or 6 years with Jimmy DeResta and Bob Cleggett, and that is called Making It, so check that out. Thank you, everyone. I hope you have a great holiday no matter what you celebrate, and if you don't celebrate anything, I hope you still have a great season. That is going to wrap it up. Thank you to Simply Safe for sponsoring today's video. As always, be safe, have fun, stay passionate, and make something. We got to bring back the Drunken Woodworker. By the way, there are Drunken Woodworker t-shirts for sale on my website. Shameless plug. I've been plugging myself the whole video, and then I end the video with one more plug. Who do I think I am? The gift that keeps on giving.